Section 16 of Christmas and Christmas Lore. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit librivox.org. Recording by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Christmas and Christmas Lore by Thomas G. Crippen. The oldest English carols. The earliest known copy of an English carol is a fragment published by Ritson and written probably about AD 1410. I saw a sweet, a seemly sight, a blissful blurred, a blossom bright. The morning maid and mirth among, a maiden mother meek and mild. In cradle kept a knave child, that softly slept, she sat and sung, Lulla, lulla, below. My bairn, sleep softly now. This very old stanza is valuable as illustrating some well-marked features of our best Old English carols. The alliteration is characteristic of the time when it was written, but notice the homely simplicity of the strain. The Blessed Virgin sings just such a lullaby as might have been sung by any English mother in the year 1410. Then see how the whole scene is treated as if literally present. Just what has been said above about the great events of sacred history being mystically repeated on their anniversaries, and observe how the whole is brought into personal relation with the singer, not the bare historic there was, but the personal I saw. The true carol is not the product of an age of cold historic criticism. It belongs to an age of faith. There is in existence an old manuscript songbook, considerably more than 400 years old, supposed to have belonged to a professional minstrel. From this, a great number of genuine carols were edited for the Percy Society. Some of them, it may be, handed down by tradition from a time earlier than the Ritson fragment. It would be pleasant, if space permitted, to reproduce about a dozen of these and point out their most interesting features. This is impractical, so we must be content to take a few stanzas here and there which show how the old minstrels treated the leading incidents of the Holy Nativity. First, of the Annunciation. Gabriel, that angel bright, brighter than the sun's light, from heaven to earth he took his flight. At Nazareth, that great city, before a maid he kneeled on his knee, and said, Mary, God is with thee. Hail Mary, full of grace, God is with thee, and ever was, and hath in thee chosen a place, etc. We have not found among the oldest carols any reference to the occasion of the journey to Bethlehem. In one which probably belongs to the early part of the 17th century, we find, to Bethlehem city in Jewry it was, that Joseph and Mary together did pass, all for to be taxed with many one mo. Great Caesar commanded the same should be so. But when they had entered the city so fair, a number of people so mighty were there, that Joseph and Mary, whose substance was small, could find in the inn there no lodging at all. Thus they were constrained in a stable to lie, where oxen and asses they used for to tie. Their lodging so simple they held in no scorn, and against the next morning our Saviour was born. The mystery of the miraculous birth is dwelt on in these old ditties with considerable naivety. It is not easy to find a quotable stanza on the subject. Perhaps this, from the old minstrel's manuscript, is the most presentable. Blessed be the Lady bright, who bears a child of great might, without grief, as it was right, made Mother Mary, God's Son is born. His mother was a maid, both after and beforn, as the prophet said, with a wondrous thing it is to see, how maid and mother one can be. There was never none but she, made Mother Mary. Another, from a manuscript written about 1450, is worth quoting. I sing of a maiden that is makeless, i.e., mateless. King of all kings, to her son she choose. He came all so still to his mother's bower, as dew in April that falleth on the flower. Mother and maiden was never none but she. Well may such a lady God's mother be. Of the shepherds keeping watch over their flock by night, we have several descriptions. Here is one of the quaintest. About the field they piped full right, even about the midst o' the night. They saw come down from heaven a light. Churl, churl, so merrily the shepherds began to blow. Of angels came a company, with merry songs and melody. The shepherds anon gan them espy. Churl, churl, so merrily the shepherds began to blow. The shepherds usually find the Holy Child among the ordinary occupants of the stall. The old carolers appear to have accepted in simple faith the legend of the ox and ass already referred to, a legend which has left its impress not only on popular folk song but on the religious drama and on works of art, even on some of a superior order. So the old minstrel sings, between an ox stall and an ass, this child then truly born he was. For want of clothing they did him lay in the cratch among the hay. Of the appearance of the star and the journey of the wise men from the east, we have many spirited descriptions. The wise men are always kings. Their names are usually, not always, Gaspar, Melchior, and Balthazar. One is young, one old, and one of middle age. They represent the respective posterities of Shem, Ham, and Japhet, and the youngest is generally a Moor or a Negro. Their gifts to the Holy Child are explained according to the symbolism which we owe to Irenaeus and Nazarene. The gold proclaims his kinship, the frankincense his godhead, and the myrrh his morality. Perhaps the best verses are these, spelling modernized. Three kings came out of Indian land to see that wondrous infant bent, with rich presents in their hand. Straightly a star before them went. A wondrous thing it was to see. That star was more than other three, and it held the course to that country. With I dare well say, they did not miss of ready way. When they with that lady met, they found the child upon her knee, Full courteously they did her greet, and present him with gifts three. As king they gave him gold so red, myrrh, incense for his godhead. Of their offering this we read, with I dare well say, they worshipped him on 12th day. The slaughter of the children by Herod is a favorite topic in the carols, and is often treated with the wildest exaggeration, the innocents being sometimes counted by thousands. At other times, the cruelty of Herod is made the subject of the Virgin Mother's cradle song, as in a very pretty carol printed in 1587. Lulla, lulla, lullaby. My sweet little babe, what meanest thou to cry? Be still, my blessed babe, though cause thou hast to mourn, whose blood, most innocent, the cruel king has sworn. And lo, alas, behold what slaughter doth he make, shedding the blood of innocents, sweet Jesus, for thy sake. A king is born, they say, which king this king would kill? O woe and heavy woeful day, when wretches have their will. End of section 16. Recording by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC.